Hello everyone, welcome back to SSH tutorial. So far we discussed about what is SSH and where and all we can use the SSH, and we discussed about the commands. Now I would like to discuss about the actual execution part of passwordless connection. So as we discussed in the previous video, so SSH is secure shell and port number is 22. So using SSH, we can do a couple of automations like automating backup, synchronization between the servers, and accessing the servers through PuTTY via SSH protocol, which is port 2022. And apart from that, we are going to do some other automations for Ansible YAML playbook executions and shell script executions and other automation things actually. So to do all of these, so we need to connect from one server to another server without password, which is called passwordless connection. Okay, so here are the some requirements to do the passwordless authentication. The first thing is we need two servers or two EC2 instances based on the platform. So if you are working with that AWS, we are going to work with EC2 servers. If you are working with that Azure, we are going to work with VMs, or if you are working with on-premises, we are going to working with 2E servers. Okay. So, and then the second thing is we need to create a common user for those two servers. Okay. So server one, if you can create a DevOps user, even server two also same username should be there. Okay, then here are the two commands. One is for creating a user and creating the password. Then after that, we need to provide the sudo permissions for those users. Okay, and after that, so there are different approaches are there to do passwordless connection. One thing is we can create a separate group and we can add those users, or directly we can add that users to the wheel group. Okay, so that is the reason under that sudoers we can enable these two configuration. One is for wheel all is equal to all, then same thing without password also we should have to enable it. Okay, so and after that we need to make few changes in that SSHD configuration file. That is password authentication we should have to make yes. Then once the change is done, we should have to restart the service. Okay, then finally, as I told, we need to add the user into the wheel group. Then we need to generate the key, we need to copy the key, and we need to check whether that passwordless authentication is happening or not. Okay, so this is the procedure. So up to user mode, we need to perform in the two servers. Let's jump into that practical session. So here are the two servers. So one is called server A. So let's do all those steps which we discussed just now. The first thing is we need to create one user. So user add, I'm going to create a DevOps user. Okay, or we can do existing users also, root EC2 user also is there. We can do it, but for showing this, I'm creating a separate user. Okay, I have created that user. Then after that, I need to set the password. PASSWD DevOps. So if I can enter, it is asking the password. I need to set the password for this, and again I need to confirm the password for that. So I have created that username and password. So and the next thing is, so I need to give the sudo privileges for that. Okay, so vam/etc sudo. Okay, enter. So here, as per that, as we discussed, we need to enable two things. One is for no password, another one is for add the people in the group. Okay, these two configuration we need to enable. Then after we need to save this. And the second thing is we should have to do some changes in that SSH configuration file, because we need to do some password authentication should be yes. We need to make this change. So here is no is there. So we need to change this. Yes. Okay. Then after that, we are going to save this. So we have done some changes in that SSHD service. So that is the reason we need to restart the service. So yes, service SSHD restart. Okay. So now see, after that we need to check for the status. See here it is restarted. Okay, since 4 seconds ago. Okay. So now after that what we need to do, we need to add the users in the group actually. So this is the wheel group using user mode command. We need to add. Okay. So I have done all those things. Then after that, we have to go to the second server. We need to do the same thing actually. See, this is the server B. If you can see here, this is the server B. So here also I need to repeat the same step, user add DevOps. So because in the two servers has the same username, then password DevOps, then you should have to provide the password for it. Okay, I have created the user and I have created the password. And the second step is I need to give the sudo privileges. Okay, so vi sudo, we can use vi/it is sudo or vi sudo also, both is fine actually. And here two changes we need to do it. Basically make sure that, see, one change already is there, it is enable only. Then we need to enable for the password, no password. Okay, so I have enabled, make it save this. Then I need to do one change in the SSHD conf file actually. Okay, so here password authentication no is there, we need to put yes. Okay, so once this change is done, then we can save this. After that, we should have to restart the SSHD service. Okay. Here I have restarted. If you want to see the status, see here it started 3 seconds ago. Okay. So after that, we should have to give user mode -a capital G, and you have to provide the wheel, the username we should have to provide it, which is called DevOps. All the steps I have done actually. Now what we need to do, as per the document, okay, see here, as per the document, the first step we discussed is we need two servers we created and the username should be same in the both the servers. So that is where, so this is called server A. So I have created the user. Now I am going to log into that user, whichever the user we have created, right? I'm going to log in. So DevOps is the user and I have to give the password which I have set. So now I am able to log in the server A with the DevOps user. See here, this is the DevOps user and it is server A. Then go to the server B and same user which we created, right? We need to log in here also. DevOps, and here you should have to provide password. Okay, here also this is DevOps and here is the server B. So you can use curl space -f and we can use if config.me. We can come to know that this is the IP address of server B, and you can come here curl -s if config.me. Here see, this is the server A IP. So now we need to generate the SSH key. This is the final step. Okay, SSH -key gen. So this is the command which we can use to generate the public key and private key. Okay, the moment when we can enter this command, it will create the .ssh folder with the user home directory which is called home DevOps. Then it will able to create id_rsa.pub. It is called public key. So one more thing is id_rsa. So this will be created. Okay, so even if we can go here ls space -la, see here there is no .ssh folder is there. Now we need to share the .ssh keys from server A to server B. Why? Because our requirement is we need to make a SSH connection between server A to server B. So that is the reason I am going to generate the SSH key from server A and I can copy the server B. So this is the command for generating the SSH keys. Then SSH -copy -id. Then the username is DevOps @ the IP address we need to take it from the server B. Enter, and it is asking that password authentication. You have to provide the password. Now it is copied the keys. Now you can go here ls space -la. See here the keys is there. Yeah, you can do ll.ssh. See here, it is the authorization keys are there. Now we have generated the keys and we have copied the keys, and finally we need to check whether that SSH connection is working or not. So SSH space enter. See here, it is connected. Okay, so I connected from here to here. Now if you can check, if space -s if config.me. See, this is the IP address server B because we connected to the server B without giving the password. You can press Ctrl D. Now you went back to the server A. See here, this is server A password 148. Okay. Again, if you want to test, right? So enter. See, we didn't give any password directly. It has taken actually. Okay. SSH username @ server B. Again, I am pressing Ctrl D. Even sometimes you don't want to provide the username. Just if you can provide the IP address is fine. Why? Because if you can enter like this, the current server, which is server A, what is the username which we use to log in? Same username is applied for this IP also. Here we log in for DevOps. And if you can try to enter SSH server B username, it will try to connect through DevOps user only. See here. Now see, it is there in the server B. Earlier it is there in the server A. Okay, so this is how we are going to make a SSH authentication. So this is the one of the approach actually. Okay, and the second thing is why this SSH connection is needed. Okay, anyway, we are going to provide the password, right? We can connect it, right? Why without passwordless connection? Example, in the server A, okay, in the server A, we have written one shell script or Ansible playbook. Okay, that playbook we need to copy or we need to execute in the server B. If we can put that manual input in the shell script, okay, that is not automation. Okay, so suppose say example, we are there at somewhere, that script need to be executed in that night at 1 a.m. That time we need to be standby and we need to give the password. Okay, there is some manual input is needed. So instead of that, we can make a SSH authentication. That means passwordless authentication. If you can execute that script, you can schedule that script, then we no need to provide any password authentication because passwordless connection will be taken care. Okay, so I will do one more video. What are the automations we will do it? Okay, through rsync, through automated backup, through execution, some commands from master to node, example server A to server B. I will give the one more video. Please go through this. It's a very important for Ansible discussion time. So if any doubts, could you please comment in my channel? Thanks for watching.